Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. This is where you're learning everything that you need to know about how to be a pharmacy technician. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pharmacy Tech Love. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell. Okay. Okay, the reason why I'm making the video today is because I want to tell you guys exactly how I became certified as a chemotherapy pharmacy technician, a compounding technician, pharmacy technician, and also a sterile IV pharmacy technician. What I did was, I had never heard about any of these things. I was working with a company, a retail pharmacy. And I have never heard of compounding, sterile IV, nuclear. I've never heard of a nuclear pharmacy technician. I had never heard of any of those things. So one day I was at work and a floater pharmacist came through. It's really hot out here, you guys, but it's just so beautiful. But it's hot. The sun isn't out, but it's nice. I know you hear the birds and all that. Anyway, so I was at work and a floater pharmacist came through. Remember how I told you guys about the floater pharmacist and how they have a lot of good information, and they do, okay? So he was like, hey, have you ever thought about being a sterile IV technician? I was like, what is that? And he said they have a school in Houston where you can become certified as a sterile, compounding, and chemotherapy pharmacy technician. I was like, no, I've never heard of this before, ever. And I had been a technician for years, okay? So after he said that, I went home and I Googled it. I just simply Googled it. And it took me to the school. Just type in NPTA, National Pharmacy Technician Association, okay? All right, so what I did was, I went on there and I was like, this is so interesting. So I just looked around at that moment. So then when I came to where I am now, when I got hired where I am now, I was like, okay, well, they have a sterile IV. And I was trained as a sterile IV, but I was like, I just didn't feel like I knew enough information. So I was like, okay, so let me try the school that's in Houston. So that's exactly what I did. But of course, I want to make this clear. I need you guys to know this. You cannot achieve those three certifications, so that chemotherapy, IV, and compounding, without being a pharmacy technician first, okay? You have to become a certified pharmacy technician first. And what I suggest, my recommendation, is to, I have a link where you can actually become a certified pharmacy technician in 60 days. Onisha Biggs and her team, they will help you with everything. They also give you 8 weeks of tutoring. So I'm going to leave my link down in the description, or I can leave it in the comments, that'll be fine. And you can also get a 5% discount because I'm going to leave you my discount code. Say what? I'm going to leave you my discount code. So get that education. There's so many jobs as pharmacy technicians. So I'm gonna make a separate video about that. Okay. So what I did was, after I got all my paperwork done, now listen. This is all at-home study, okay? I know you guys probably haven't heard about any of this, but this is all at-home study. So what I did was, I purchased everything, okay? I just didn't stop at the sterile IV. I did the compounding, I did the chemotherapy, and I also did the sterile IV. If they would have had the option for nuclear medicine, I also would have did that as well, but that was just not an option at that school. Okay, so they mailed me all of my books, okay? And I just pretty much did everything, all the tutorials, everything that, all the information in the book. I put down all my answers. You have to go back to the website, put all of your answers in on the website. Once you had that completed, you set up the week that you wanted to go to Houston and actually take the on-hands class portion of it, okay? So that's what I did. Once I had everything completed out of the books and everything done, and they will let you retake your test. I think I made like an 80 on one test, but I wasn't happy with that. So even though I passed it, I retook it because I wanted to make like a 90 or 100 because that's just how I am. Okay, so once I got done with that, I scheduled my appointment to stay in Houston for 1 week. I wish I had flown, but I drove. Okay, so what I did was I packed up everything, purchased my hotel room for a week, packed my clothes for a week, did everything that I needed to do, okay? So on the night of traveling to Houston, because I had to be there, the class I think started at 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? So the class started at 8 o'clock. So what I did was I left out maybe around, I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I left out and I drove to Houston. That was not a good idea. That was just not a good idea. So what I did was I left out at 1 o'clock in the morning. My friend at that time, he was like, well, do you want me to ride with you? And I was like, no. I said, I think this is something I want to do on my own, because I had never driven, you know, even though 6 hours is not far, I had never driven that far away from home before, you know, by myself. So I felt like this is something I want to accomplish on my own. And plus I knew I was going to have to stay there for a week. And so I didn't want to have the responsibility, not saying that he would have been a responsibility, but I just didn't want anyone else with me. I just didn't. And that's the reason I didn't take my daughter, because I was going to at first. So what I did was I packed all my belongings up, got on the road at 1 o'clock in the morning, okay? So, you know, I'm driving, talking to friends, you know, to a few friends in the middle of the night. I mean, this is 1 o'clock in the morning. So I talked to a couple of people in the middle of the night. Then, you know, of course, you have the moments where you're by yourself driving. You guys, you know what? If I ever go to Houston again, which I will be going to Houston soon, I will be flying to Houston. I will not be driving back unless I have someone with me that can actually help me drive. Because unfortunately, I did fall asleep behind the wheel. And I just thank God. I really do. I just thank God that I am here today, taking care of my home, taking care of my daughter, taking care of my dog, loving my nephews, which I need to start getting my nieces as well. Just loving my family, because man, I was almost not here. So what happened was I fell asleep behind the wheel. And all I remember is just boom, 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 boom. That's all I remember. It's just a bunch of boom, boom, boom. And I woke up. I was like, whoa. And I was in a bank's lawn. I guess that's what you want to call it. I was in a bank's lawn. I wasn't in their parking lot. I mean, I had jumped the curb in their lawn. And I'm just like, oh! You know, I didn't know what was going on. And I was just so shooken up, y'all. I was so freaking scared. You have no idea how that is to just wake up. Y'all don't understand the fear that was in my soul. I'm just gonna say my soul, not my body. That was in my soul. I was so scared, and I don't even know if I called anyone. So, you know, I took control of the car, got down back on the street from the ramp, from the little, you know, curb or whatever. Got back down. So I got out. I mean, there was nobody in sight. Nobody for me to cry to. Nobody for me to say anything to. It was just dead everywhere. And I hope I'm still alive. I hope I'm still alive. But it was just dead everywhere. And so I came down off the curb, and I got out and I assessed my vehicle, just kind of, you know, looked at my, and I had a dent in my rim. So I was like, girl, you're going to be okay, honey. We're gonna finish this drive. So that's exactly what happened. So finally I came to this store, and I just pulled over, and I just had to sit and take a moment, okay, to collect myself, okay? So that's what I did. So let's move forward. So I finally got to the hotel, and this was maybe 7 o'clock, and I don't know if my room wasn't ready, so I had to just kind of sit there until the class started, until the bus came to pick us up. And I can't remember if I had to take all my belongings with me. But anyway, the class started, I think, at 8 o'clock, either 8 or 9. I may have taken all my things to the room. I can't remember that part. But anyway, we all shuffled on the bus. And we went to the class, and it was 5 days. It was 5 days a week. And it was for 1 week. So the first 2 days, I think we did the sterile IV. The next 2 days, we did the compounding. And on the last day, we did the chemotherapy, if I'm not mistaken. So there were different people coming in from all different states taking this class. But, you know, I took all 3. So maybe for the first 2 days, maybe certain people weren't there because they didn't want to take the sterile IV. It's really hot out here, you guys. They were certain people that didn't want to take the sterile IV. And then you had more groups of people that were coming in that only wanted to take the compounding portion. And then they would leave and go home. Then you had certain people that only came in just to take the chemotherapy. So there were people just kind of leaving, coming, going, you know, different things like that, flying out. We were all getting to know each other. So I got to know this young lady named, well, I'll say young lady. She was a little bit older than me. I got to know a young lady named Jackie. And I think I still have her phone number. And I was so glad that she was there because, I mean, we went out to eat together, you know, we just did everything together. Like, I can make friends with whales, you know what I'm saying? I can just make friends with anyone. It doesn't matter what religion, what background, what race, what ethnic. I don't give a flying flip what that has to do with anything. But I kind of need you to speak English, you know, so I can understand you. Yeah, I can even understand broken English, okay? I'm good with that. But that was my trip, okay? And if you want to do that, go to npta.com or just type in National Pharmacy Technician Association. Now that's after you have become a certified pharmacy technician. If you have any questions on any of this, leave it in the comments. And like I said, I will leave my page link and that 5% discount code in the description, and I'll also leave it in the comments. So like I said, if you guys have any questions on anything, and if you just want to go to my page link just to look around, look around. And if you want to go to Pharmacy Tech Lessons, just to look at their website, look around. But don't forget to use my discount code in order to receive that discount. You guys have a blessed day, and just be safe with everything that's going on, and just try to be happy. I'll see y'all later. Bye.